Okay. Hi, guys. My name is Elle. I'm here today with a special guest. Her name is Shireen. She's a little bit nervous today, but she's a really dope, I would call her, she said a spiritualist, and she's a witch, but a
Yes.
good witch, unless you piss her off, and then you don't know. Okay, so hi, Shireen.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming today. I really do appreciate it. She came with a lot of stuff. She brought like these crystals and candles and cards. She came highly recommended. She's a YouTuber. She does readings. She's really, really dope, and you should definitely check out her channel. It's Conjure Arabian.
Arabian conjure.
Arabian Conjure. I mixed it up.
It's okay.
Arabian Conjure. I'll put the link on top so you guys can check it out. So you do readings.
Yes. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
so nervous.
It's okay. It's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
So what kind of readings do? You do like tarot card readings?
Yeah, I do tarot. I wouldn't consider myself like a psychic.
Right, you said that. So you're
Yeah.
more of a witch
Yeah, and a reader.
and a reader. So how does that work? Like how do you get the information?
So whenever I'm about to do a reading, like I use my bell, I call on the spirits, and I basically ask for our guides, guardians, and ancestors to come in and guide the reading and to protect us from any spirits that wish to cause harm or confusion, because there are. And then
Can they come anywhere? Like the spirits, you can call them on anywhere?
pretty much, yeah.
So are you like a median?
No, I don't consider
That's
myself.
different?
Yeah. I don't really call on the dead to speak with them. In my belief, the dead are they're in a different dimension after 40 days. So they're only like really clear, I believe, and a lot of people believe, in the 40-day mark. And then after that, they kind of go into another realm, basically. So
How long have you been doing readings for?
since I was like a little kid, I've always been into readings and spells and all of that.
Really? What age did you start reading cards?
Cards probably around 14, 15, but I started doing spells at 13.
Really? What was your first spell?
A curse.
A curse?
Yeah.
What kind of curse?
It was on this bully at school that was making my life miserable. He would call me Schnoz, and he would call me Penguin. I had a big old Arab nose, and I was short, and I'm still short and chubby, but I was the only girl in shop class. So he would make my life hell. And then one day, I just was like, had it, and I didn't get off at my bus stop. I got off at my best friend, and I just was like, give me his yearbook, give me a candle, give me this, give me that.
That's knew all what to do?
I just knew. I tell people that I just knew what to do, and I just.
So what did you do?
I
like,
grabbed,
what kind of curse was it?
It just basically, you're gonna make him stop, and I just put all my anger into it. I know that's crazy for a 13-year-old, but when you have that, the term curse, right? The term spell actually comes from the verbiage. So when you curse somebody, and you curse them out, like, you're cursing them with your tongue. And a spell, that's like the use of words. And actually that dates back to years ago with sihr. We have sihr, and with Solomonic magic, which is like Kabbalistic, Jewish magic. They would use specific words and names and put them in like a certain order, and that's how they would conjure specific spirits. So the term spell or curse actually comes from using your tongue, so really you don't need like all these ingredients and stuff like that. You can curse somebody just by saying, I hope you blah 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 blah.
So it's true what you say with your mouth can turn into reality.
Absolutely.
So you have to be careful,
especially
when you speak.
If you really mean it. Yeah, that's like the thing. You believe it, you mean it, you want it to happen.
So when someone says like, I hate my life sucks, does that make their life suck even more?
I believe, yeah, it manifests you. So it's not, what I do is not the same necessarily as like manifestation, although when a spell manifests, we call it like manifesting in terms of like it happens, but there's like people that do like what is that, manifestation, positive affirmation stuff.
Like
It's
The
similar.
Secret.
Yeah, like that. It's there. There's they correlate. You have to. It helps when you have a belief in what you're asking for. In my belief in like the angels, the spirits that we work, the deities. But you're not just, you're actually calling on something outside yourself. But the manifestors.
Is it scary?
Oh, I've had like the most scary experience I've ever had just happened to me last year, actually.
What happened?
So,
Just talk to your mic.
oh, sorry.
It's okay.
So this was last year. It was January 17th, 2024, and I get trolled a lot. Like I get, obviously people don't believe, or people are like, you're Jesus is, whatever, you're going to hell and this and that. And I'm used to that. But last year it got a little out of hand, and so they were like just unbelievable. Like I couldn't even. It was just too much. So I use a specific conjuration that I don't typically like to use. So in my practice, sihr. I'm gonna try to say it in English, but it sounds weird every time. Sihr. uh, so we use different conjurations. And I used one in particular where I called on a jinn that I don't typically work with.
What's a jinn for people who don't know?
So jinn, they're the spirits of smokeless fire.
Of smokeless fire?
Yeah, I mean, yes. So if you look at like Arabian lore and stuff like that, even the Jewish people believe in the jinn. I think they have a different name for them.
So what does that mean, a smokeless spirit?
Smokeless fire. So
no, you don't need to burn a candle for it, you're saying? They can come from anywhere?
So they pretty much, it's going to sound, I know I'm going to sound crazy.
Don't worry.
So the lore goes, but I truly believe this, is that God made us. He made them first, basically, and he made them from a fire without smoke, and then they created a lot of chaos in their world, and then he created man after. He's like, oh, the jinns are just out of control, I'm gonna create man. So they basically are beings that have very strong powers, like to make things happen and to manipulate things in our lives, because they're in a realm where they can come in and out.
But how did you know how to reach them?
That's the thing. So my grandmother was a healer. She didn't do, so let me raise it. I never saw her do dark work, or to hurt people. So she didn't teach me that, to be honest. That was just natural.
You do dark work?
If I have to, if it's justified, yeah.
Do you think that it has like karmatic
repercussions? Sure. I'll eat it like Cheerios. No.
So
no.
What would you consider dark magic?
Like cursing somebody.
You curse people?
I have.
Like people can come and pay you to curse somebody?
If they're like, yeah. Well, I kind of slowed down on even doing any anymore for people, just because it's a headache, to be honest. But if they're pedophiles, I've done pedophiles for free. If they're abusive, if they do things that really, I'm not gonna.
You ask why.
Yeah, and I do a reading to make sure they're not full of shit. Yeah.
Okay.
And I know I'm not God to make that judgment, but
right.
Certain things, like if people tell me, like hurting animals, hurting kids, hurting women, hurting just anything like that, I naturally I've done it for free so many times. I'm just like, don't even worry. So
you feel like they deserved it?
Yeah.
Okay. And so obviously, a lot of people watch you, a lot of people come to you. What is like the most requested thing that people ask you to do for them? Like obviously love?
Yeah.
How does that work?
So that technically love spells, and I know people are going to talk a lot of shit, and you're manipulating someone's free will. However, if there's no real love there, there's no real seed to work with. I'm not one of these witches that are like full of shit, like, oh, I'm gonna have them under mind control. That's not realistic. It's not feasible. There are rules. You have to act a certain way. You can't get a love spell on a random, like, somebody.
Person who doesn't know you,
No,
like on a celebrity.
no. And it's that people have asked me, and I'm like, somebody asked me the other day, can you make me younger, and can you make me have knowledge that I don't have to study? I'm like, are you taking the piss? Like, are you fucking with me? Excuse my language. Like, are you messing with me? Or are you serious? I thought they were trolling me, and they probably were, but yeah, I won't. I tell people, like, if you're expecting unrealistic, you know,
So would it be more like, oh, if you're about to get a divorce,
yeah, and you're trying
and
to
you
save
want to
your
stay
marriage.
together, then you'll do something? Does it work?
Yeah, 80% of the time, yeah.
So what is it? How does it work?
So basically, like, depending on the situation, every situation is different. So if it's a reconciliation, like if there's a breakup, you do a reconciliation. If it's a binding, like if you're trying to keep your marriage, then that would be a bind. So every situation is different, but basically, so I do candle magic, which is basic. Everybody on YouTube and TikTok are doing that. And for the more difficult cases, I use Arabic magic, which is sihr, and that's a very sacred practice, and it's not like pretty, it's more scientific almost. So for really difficult cases, like anything that's, if they're broken up 3 to 6 months or more, which I get a lot of those cases, then I would use the sihr.
And you've seen it work.
Yeah, of course.
What about health?
I usually don't charge people to heal. I think a healer should
help for free.
Yeah.
And have you?
Yeah.
You've healed people from what?
So the magic uses the route of least resistance, right? So in other words, there has to be a physical world avenue for it to take. So, like, for example, I had a client who, this was back in like 2017, they had hepatitis C. And there is a medication for it, but back then, especially, it was very expensive. So they came to me to help with that. And so I did the healing work. And I remember I did with Archangel Raphael. And I remember I did the healing work, and then I did a blue candle for him as an offering. And it kept going out. But I didn't get a bad feeling from it. The feeling I got was almost like the job is done, And so I called them, and I'm like, did you hear from the insurance? Because it was literally like a very small chance the insurance would cover it. And so I was like, did you hear anything from the insurance? And they're like, no. And he was like, oh, I actually did get a weird number. And he listened to his voicemail, and it turned out not only did he get the medicine, but it was at the FedEx office waiting. And that was the feeling I got, because the candle kept going out. But sometimes that could mean they're saying no, like, we're not doing this. Or the feeling I got with that is like, the job is done.
So when you burn a candle, right? Mm-hmm. What exactly are you looking for?
So
you want to get a little closer.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. So here with me personally, like, I'm not big on like candle reading per se. Like, there are certain signs, like if it burns really strong, if it burns really quick, like if it has like a lot of wax, the markings in the glass, or like if there's like a figure candle and it has tears, that could be like a lot of emotions and things like that. But like, some people go overboard with the candle reading shit. Some I have my own ways of doing things.
But what are you looking like? You're looking for it to burn all the way? Is there like something you can see in the candle that tells you something?
Yeah, like I said, if it's just it depends on what we're doing and the feeling I get from it. Basically, it's not like, oh, this means this. Just like I said, the candle going out could be no. The spirit said no, like they're not doing it. But in this case, it was the candle going out could also mean the job is done. It's already done. You don't have to keep lighting the candle. So it just depends. You go by your intuition on that.
And what about money?
What about it?
So I'm sure people come to you because they have money
Yeah.
problems. So how does that work? Because I heard like people say, oh, you can't ask for money. You can't ask God for money. Or like, in religion, they say that, right? Like, oh, you can ask for anything, but you shouldn't ask for money.
So we're talking about indoctrination and Abrahamic,
Right. But I do know in Hollywood, a lot of people do magic for money.
For money, yeah. And typically what we do is we say, bring me prosperity, abundance, success, with harm to none. Because you could get money from, like, God forbid,
an accident.
Yeah, or somebody, passing away that,
right.
inheritance. So you don't want harm to. So yeah, that's not true. Actually, I never heard people say that you couldn't ask for money.
Well, no, not that you, but they're saying like you shouldn't ask for money, like when you pray.
I think the religious side of things, yeah.
And do you think, like, what are the odds that the money stuff works? Like, if I was like, okay, I came to you as a client, I'm like, listen, Shireen, I'm struggling right now. I need to make money. What would we do?
Like, there's many things. Like, for myself, I'll even just do a basic. I have a sigil.
What's a sigil?
So there's different with Middle Eastern magic in particular. There's the Solomonic seals, which that's King Solomon. So you have a history. I mean, our history is very, from the Canaanites. But in Jerusalem, my family's from Nazareth, Jerusalem, and Bethlehem. We have lineage 1,600 years there. And so King Solomon, he used to work with these pentacles. And basically, they're like, it's like a shape, basically. And it has like names of different, angels. He controlled 72 demons, actually, jinn. The Christians call it.
So jinn are demons?
There's different kinds of jinn. There's the ifrit, which they could be good or bad. There's the shayateen. There's the iblis.
Shayateen is like Satan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not like
so
darker.
Is money dark?
No, not to me. Some people do believe. It depends on the belief system. Every belief system's different. I think Wiccan. I don't know much exactly a lot about Wiccan, but I know.
Isn't Wiccan witch the same thing?
Not necessarily. No.
What's the difference?
So not everybody who's a witch is Wiccan.
What is a Wiccan?
So a Wiccan is like they believe in like the threefold law, like karmic law, and do harm to none, and they might even believe don't ask for money. I'm not sure.
So they're more of like a white,
like natural, like herbal, and white. Don't harm and all that.
Like don't use magic, basically.
No, you can use it, but do harm to none. Don't do love spells. They're ethical, I will say. Just morally speaking. I don't think because I will fuck up a pedophile makes me unethical. That means I'll eat the karma like Cheerios to see that.
Now, does money influence you to like go outside of your comfort zone?
No.
If someone offers you X amount of money, right? But they want to do something that you don't agree with, will you do it?
No. A lot of people have asked me things I'm not comfortable with, and I won't do it.
Like what?
Miscarriage spells, death spells,
oh
lots of stuff. I
really?
won't do it. Yeah.
Wow. What's the craziest thing a person ever asked you to do?
There's a lot. I mean, one, the people coming out, can you get Harry Styles and stupid shit like that, to crazy in terms of dark, killing their husband, so their husband's mistress's pregnancy, all sorts of stuff.
Do you ever report it if someone asks you to do a murder? Like, have you ever felt like, oh shit, this person might be like dangerous, might be harming? Like, because if they ask you to do a murder, they might actually do it with someone else. So how do you know, like,
if they're gonna?
Who you're dealing?
If somebody's gonna actually murder someone, they're not gonna go to a witch. They're just gonna like go to somebody to do it. I could tell if somebody has balls or not.
And as far as like you call them jinn, right? That's who you talk to?
Yeah.
As far as the jinn, they only come when you call them, or do they come to you in a dream or at night, or like do you see visions? How does that work?
Oh, that's what I was telling you. So actually, jinn come whenever the hell. Jinn are always around. Like when we go in the bathroom in the Middle East, a lot of Arab Arab people will say "Salamu alaikum," which means peace be upon you when they go in the bathroom. That's because they're acknowledging the jinn. So jinn.
Oh, someone told me there's spirits in the bathroom. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's true. So a lot of people will say like the shaitan and the iblis particularly like the bathroom, but it's all jinn really, like the bathroom.
Because someone told me, oh, you need to close the door.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah,
tell
me.
They
say, well, because they. Okay, so this is gonna sound weird.
No, it doesn't matter.
People.
It doesn't matter.
So the jinn, it's said that they eat certain things, and one of those things is our excrement. So they they hang out in the bathroom because they get, and they say like don't pour scalding hot water down the sink because you could hurt the jinn or their babies, and then they'll fuck with your life.
No way.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
There's so many stories, like mountainous areas. They say be careful, cover your head. Don't wear your hair down, like because they're attracted, and if a jinn falls in love with you, then he'll fuck up your life, or she will. There's male jinn, female jinn. Yeah.
How can a jinn fall in love with you? How does that happen?
Because
that happened to me. Fuck. Because I used to live in the hills.
It could happen to anybody.
How?
So, okay. So sometimes it could just they say if you. The story is they say if you don't wear your hair up, or you wear a lot of makeup, or you just show too much skin, or you just
you can attract a spirit.
You can attract, yeah, and especially
like
if you do black magic or magic in general, yeah.
Do you know some people tell me like, oh, I have dark energy.
You?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you don't have dark energy to me. You have controlling energy, like you have to control, but I don't think you're dark, like you have a dark spirit. I think you just have been through a lot in your life, and it comes out in your aura.
My personality.
Yeah.
Oh.
But okay. I don't think you're like cursed, for example.
Right. Okay.
Things also it takes your actions too. Like what you were asking about love spells. If you ask me about money, right? You could come to me for money, but if you sit on your ass in your house, the money's not going to fall from the sky. Like you still have to do the work.
You know what's crazy? I went to a psychic when I lived in LA. I don't know. Like my mom used to take me to psychics all the time when I was younger. I don't know why.
She's Middle Eastern.
Yeah. So she loves this shit. So I don't know. I was going through something in my life, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to a psychic. So I googled like who's a good psychic, and they recommended somewhere in like Van Nuys, and I just went, and it was like a psychic store, like a storefront. I was like,
they told you you're cursed, and
no, so
pay me to fix it.
Listen, yeah. So I was like, I don't believe in these stores because it's like I feel like if it's in a store, it's like fake, because like they live in the store, whatever. But I went anyway, and the lady told me, she said, "Oh, I see you're gonna be traveling a lot soon." I was like, what? Like I had no plans on traveling, right? And I don't know what else she told me, and I was like, oh, this was all bullshit, right? I'm not going anywhere. I have a kid, and literally like 3 months later, I literally traveled to like 5 different countries. And then when I went back to her again 2 years or a year later, she did tell me like some stuff, and then she said, yeah, you're cursed. She's like, and I need to buy a tabernacle and throw it in the ocean for you, a gold tabernacle. She said she wanted $3,500.
Yeah.
And then it'll take the curse away from you. And I was like, fuck you. And then I never went back.
Yeah. And it's funny because that actually happened to me once. So I went into a store in Orange, and that's what actually made me willing. I wasn't even willing to read people or willing to do spells for people. When I made my channel, it was purely I thought I could teach people how to do their own shit. Maybe I'll make some money off the ads. I kept getting signs of make a YouTube, make a YouTube. I was like, I'll make a YouTube and. And then people are like, oh, can you read me? Can you do this for me? At first I was like, no. If you watch my old videos, I'm like, don't ask me to separate. Don't ask me to, because I wasn't comfortable. And then later on, I was like, I would do things for people for free all the time. And then finally I was like, you know what? I'm constantly going to be doing this. And.
How much do you charge for a reading usually?
So
if someone comes to you off of YouTube or something.
It was 150 for an hour. I just went up, because I closed them for a while because they're very draining, and a lot of people like they'll keep me on the phone for like 2-3 hours sometimes. So I have a hard time like
saying no or we gotta go.
Yeah, I do. I have a hard time with that. So yeah.
Okay. So I wanted you to do a quick reading on me, kind of like to kind of show people like the cards and how it works, because it is interesting.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I know like there's a large amount of people that are really interested in this world, right? Because it's mysterious. Not anybody could tap into it,
I was telling you what happened with the gin, though. This is an interesting
tell me.
So last year I told you I was getting harassed, So finally I got so mad. That's my problem. I'm a fire sign, and I can't just let something go. Like I'm an eye for an eye type of bitch. Like
right.
Tooth for a tooth. You come for me, I'm coming for your throat. So I used the conjuration and called on a jinn that I probably shouldn't have called on, but I was like,
is there different ones you can call on?
Yeah, there's a lot.
So how do you know who's who?
There's 7 jinn kings for every day of the week. And then, so they all have like
a name.
Yeah, they all have a name, and then they have like their kingdom. It's like a hierarchy. So I called on this one jinn. I'm not gonna say the names because I don't want people to do things they're not. That'll get them fucked up. Because if you call on a jinn and you don't know what you're doing, they can fuck up your whole life. They can burn your house down. They could do crazy things.
Really?
100%. And if any Middle Eastern people are watching, I'm sure they'll agree, especially Muslims, they'll tell you. So
you're not scared to do it?
Honestly, I've been, this particular situation scared the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie, but I've always kind of had balls. Like I've always, it just never. Maybe I have a darkness. I don't know. I feel like I'm a good person. Like I'm a good soul. Like I won't, hurt people unless they really deserve it. But
so what happened?
So anyway, I conjured this jinn, and the whole day I'm reading, and my eyes are like not focusing. They keep crossing, right? So I'm like, the whole time I'm hearing like cats meowing and like like right in my ear, and I'm getting freaked out, And then my husband, he just slept for like 2 days, and he don't sleep like that. So I'm on the first thing that happened, I'm on the phone with my friend, and I see the towels shake on their own. That was the first. I've heard things, things have happened, but not like this, So I'm on the phone, and I'm like, looking, I'm like, yo, I'm like, the towels are moving. He's like, what? I'm like, towels are moving. He's a client, actually. I actually built close relationships with my clients. Anyway, so I'm like, let me call you back. So I'm looking at it, right? I kind of go in this like trance like state, and I start talking to the towels. Like it's like I was half aware, half not. And I realized like that's the jinn that I called, and I start speaking Arabic. I'm telling him this is going on, this is going on, this is going on. And then I snap out of it, and then I go about my day like nothing happened. It was so weird, right? So then Justin, my husband, he gets a call that he had to go to do this procedure that he turned out he didn't need. So I believe that was the jinn making him leave the house, like they wanted him out. So all of a sudden I hear in my ear in English, which I always
talk in Arabic.
And and I hear in my ear in English say, that's the first time you told me you love me. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, I can't tell me. I love you. What do you And then I realized, like, I did a ritual, and I just generally to the angels, the spirits, I said, thank you, I love you guys, whatever. And it occurred to me, I'm like, I didn't mean it like that, because I told you about jinns falling in love with humans and stuff. So now I'm really freaked out. I start playing the surat. I'm like, reading the Bible, playing the Quran, like, So I go in the bathroom, and I'm in the bathroom, and I'm sitting, not TMI, but I'm sitting on the toilet. All of a sudden, my eyes cross. I can't have no control over my eyes. And I literally say out loud, "Why are my eyes crossing?" And it's like something pushes my head to the left, and I look at the bathtub, and there's it looked like the sun was shining on the tub, making like this design. And then all of a sudden, it's like, when you hear an electric light turn on and you hear that loud buzz sound, it sounded like that. And all of a sudden, this holographic like light just showed up, and it was purple, green, and blue, and it was like stripes, and you could see like this white. I swear to God, I was not on any sort of drugs or on acid or on anything like that. I was completely not on alcohol, nothing, sober. And I'm like can't believe my eyes, right? And I'm so scared, and I'm like, "Are you here to hurt me?" I've never seen anything like this before. And it shook its head. It shook its head no, like a little kid. It almost seemed like the way it shook its head no. And I'm like, "Are you here to protect me?" And it went, the light, you could see in it was I can't even describe it. Anyway, so I said, "Okay," and I was like, "Are you sure you're not here to hurt me?" And then it didn't answer. So now I'm running around the house, like trying to figure out what am I gonna do, like. And I start saying commands, because now I could feel like there's more than one. Like there's things in the house. So I say the commands, and all of a sudden I hear a whoosh, like something opened a door, and I heard dogs barking outside. They're shapeshifters, and dogs and cats are like a lot of the things that they. Anyway, so I hear that.
So what? So you're saying spirits can shapeshift to
Yeah,
animals?
yeah, they could. Yeah, jinns especially. Yeah, yeah. It was insane. I know I sound like a
No.
crazy person, but anyway, so something left, and then I go on the couch. Later on, I went about my day. I went to sit on the couch, because I wasn't gonna sleep in my room, because Justin wasn't home. He had to go to the hospital for a procedure. Like I said, he didn't even need. Anyway, so I'm laying. I fall asleep, and my cat comes up to me and starts tapping on. It's a book I have. That's
Like a magic book?
Yeah, it's a magic book. He starts tapping on it. And I wake up and I look at him, and he's looking at me like right now. I'm like, "What the hell are you doing?" He's looking at me, and I'm like staring at him, and he looks down at the book, taps it again, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And he does it again. So I grab the book, and then he goes on the coffee table. He knocks my bottle of water down, and it was closed. And I remembered, my grandmother telling me, if you see a jinn, say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and throw the water. If they come unannounced like that. So I grab the water, and I start playing the Quran, because the evil ones, they don't like Bible, Quran, anything like that. So I fall back asleep. All of a sudden, like a few hours later, I feel like this very strong heat. It woke me up out of my sleep. I open my eyes, and I see like an apparition, and it has a fire in its chest. And I got so scared. I'm like, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and I threw the water, and it disappeared. And then I realized, like, I left and that's why things can be very dangerous. If you do one little mistake, you can be in trouble. And I realized I left the sihr on my door. Essentially, when you put stuff on the door, you're calling stuff in. Like even a welcome mat, they say you shouldn't have, because it's welcoming spirits.
Interesting.
So I had it on my door the whole time. I didn't take it off and burn it. So it was essentially leaving shit open to come in and out. So that was the scariest thing that ever happened to me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's insane.
Sorry, I'm like taking over this interview.
No, it's fine. Tell us your story. So I just want to do. Can we do just a quick reading before we wrap up?
Yeah.
So I want to do a quick reading before we wrap up.
I can't burn anything, right?
Not really.
Well, yeah. Okay.
So what's the difference? Tell us about the difference in like the card decks.
So it's just all decks pretty much are like from this. This is the original Rider-Waite deck. That's like the first. And it started out as like a game people played. Like
Show it to the camera.
Which one?
No, the deck.
Oh, this. Oh, this.
Yeah. So this is the original deck.
Oh, it's upside down.
Okay. And then what's this one?
And this is the Romany deck.
Okay. What is that?
And so it's basically it's just a different kind of tarot, but it's the same principle, but just a different
different decks, but it all has the same thing.
Not this is different, but yeah, essentially it's basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you call on anything without the burning of the thing?
I mean, I like to have it as an offering and stuff, you know.
Can you offer something else?
I mean, it's fine. People read without it all the time. I just like to, you know. And I burn weed too for them.
Weed?
Yeah. They like weed, like I need a tissue. You have a tissue? Okay. I don't know, the lights make my nose run or something. Yeah. Thank you. Can you cut me, blow my nose out? Okay. Oh shit. It's okay. It's okay. It's strong. Yeah. Am I doing okay so far?
Yeah, you're doing great.
Okay.
You're doing great.
Because when I feel like it's just me and you, it's different, you know. Just
don't worry. He's
shit.
not even here.
No, he doesn't. It's just this whole setup makes me.
It's just for lighting. It makes you look. I just want to make sure.
I think it makes me look horrible, but.
All right. So, she's gonna do a quick reading, guys, and kind of tell you. So when you do a reading, do we ask questions or it just tells you stuff?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. Please come in and guide this reading.
Okay.
Your full name is Levy, right?
Yeah. Vital Levy. We cut it out. Anything we don't want.
You don't want to see no more? Okay.
Oh, no.
Please guide Elle to a number so I can shuffle on her behalf. Actually, you're right here.
What does that mean when a card comes out?
So, the Ten of Swords. So, this is a card of, like, endings, major loss or betrayal, devastation. This could have already happened because it's the first card. So, typically that's either happening now, you know, just happened, or it's about to, like, very soon.
Okay.
But so, just I have to
open
see the
it.
rest. Yeah, like mix them or whatever.
Mix them.
Yeah, you could break it or whatever feels right.
Okay.
And then when you feel, just put it down.
Shit. Okay. Whatever. Here.
Sometimes if I'm reading somebody else, right? And they want to show me I have something to be warned about, they'll show me that, and I'll say to them, is that for me or is that the person I'm reading? And I'm a Sag, so they'll show me the fire sign.
We're both Sag, so we don't know who it's for.
Well, no, I'll say, is that for me or her? Just show, if it's for me, show me fire. If it's for her, show any different sign.
I feel like it's like the same exact cards as last time, right?
Yeah, they're very, you can mix them up and shuffle and it'll be the same. If they got, the message won't change. So do you want me to say it?
Yeah, say it.
Okay.
So show the camera.
So, you know, this is in your center. So I showed you the Ten of Swords. That's like endings, major loss, betrayal. And then the Three of Swords in the reverse, that's basically just recently, like there being a heartbreak and you trying to heal from it. The swords, when it's in reverse, those swords are coming out of the heart. So you're working on healing, right? And then your crown, this is like your thought process, but like what can manifest in the physical world, because your thoughts do lead you, you know, your reality. So this is the Star card, and that's Aquarian energy, but
Okay.
it's a card of renewed hope, like being hopeful, like being hopeful for the future, you know, kind of wishes, you know, wishing on a star, like that type of energy. It's a good energy. Your challenge, though, the Two of Swords in the reverse. So this is like the avoidance of making a difficult decision. So if this was in the upright, this would be you, you know, having a decision. Do I go, do I do this or do I do this? Okay, I'm choosing one. The reverse means you have a difficult decision, but you're going to avoid trying to, you know, make it. Your root foundation, the Three of Wands in the reverse. You see how the back is turned?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, so the root cause, you know, the root energy kind of around you, even though you're hopeful on your crown. This is more of like a past energy that still kind of affects your how you are. You know, this is backs being turned, you know, your ship's not coming in the way they're supposed to. Like you're, you know, if you look how he's looking into the distance, he's waiting for his ship, so you can only see his back. In the reverse, it means, you know, things, people turning their backs, you turning their back on them, and things not going the way, your ship's not coming in, basically. And then this is your future. This is good. This is a new emotional start. And, you know, like, this is, could be a new friendship, a new relationship, a new emotional beginning. The aces are emotions. I mean, cups are emotions. Aces are new, something new.
Okay.
And then the only thing I'll be honest with you. So this is you know, your general house, like your loved ones, people around you, business, whatever. You know, there's a lot of burden here. You know, a lot of weight. You see how he's carrying all the wands by himself. Should I show? I don't know. Trying to juggle multiple things, but not doing it very proficiently.
Right.
And then this I'm a little concerned about here, because the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, that could be someone, the Queen of Pentacles represents like businesswoman or partnerships, like financial, but in the reverse, there could be, just beware of, you know, anyone who tries to take advantage, you know, financially. And this could even be, not that I'm saying you, but, you know, just somebody who's very selfish, materialistic, and only cares about their own pockets, basically. So just watch out for types like that. The untold story, that's you. Oh, okay, so the Seven of Swords, this is a very deceptive energy. The root, this is your root, so lies, deceit, the liar, the deceiver, the thief, the, you know, betrayer, the player, like in the relationship wise. You got a lot. I don't know if I want me to say things. It's up to you if you keep it, but so the Lovers in the reverse, you relationship wise, you definitely have a lot of obstacles. We'll just put it like that. Um, and there's these are two females usually. This they could be any sign, but typically coins is earth and
Oh yeah, the mic.
the mic. Sorry, air is swords is air. The whole time was it bad like that?
It's okay.
Anyway, but the main gist of this, the Queen of Swords in the reverse, you know, beware of any like people that try to cause miscommunication purposely, like manipulative, you know, like usually female when they show up as queens, either majority female, but sometimes it could be male that's really like feminine, but typically female. But this one, especially, this one could be very like a user type, you know. This one, you know, likes miscommunication, drama. But it looks like you, the strength card, you're going to be tested a lot. And you're going to have to pretty much gather your strength. But the strength card also means like strength through adversity. And so, yeah.
So it's bad?
No, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. But there's some things that I feel like from what I could see, like in your hopes or fears, you got the Eight of Cups, which is like a bit, you know, walking away from a situation or abandonment. So either you want to move forward and walk away from a situation, or you have a thing with abandonment, like a fear, and that's why you don't want to, you know, let people in your life. And that's also what Ace of Cups means too. Like, you know, don't be afraid to let people in, just the right people. You know, open your heart, but don't just let anybody in. But you keep yourself guarded. But at the same time, this Nine of Wands in the reverse, you're guarded, but with some, you just willy-nilly kind of, depending on who it is, like some people can kind of sneak in there, but most of the time you're like guarded up, controlled. But with maybe a select one or two, they get in. And deception and dishonesty. So the Untold Story. This card is just an extra card in the deck, but I keep it because I like what it says, like the Untold Story. To me, that means like there's a lot
going on.
Yeah, of secrets untold, like things that are not being said, like a story that's not told, but an interesting nonetheless, you know. So like the healing, you know, the untold story.
Okay.
I'll the gypsy cards a little bit. Is it making sense? Like,
I don't know. I guess I don't know. Okay. Oh my God. She's scaring me.
Yeah. I could stop you. Want me to stop?
No, go.
Okay.